both combined down the left to tee up Pilkington. He took his time and then scored by a big mistake. The Cowboys made all 5 changes early, but their team really impressed despite their possession. Just a smart Marshall save was not Buffalo. All from 5 very much well worth. This result there at 17 and looking great shape. The nervous Terriers just 1 point off the bottom 3. Huddersfield 0, Wigan 2.
Big win for Barnsley and off the throw, Tony Incento.
QPR nil, Barnsley 1 on a first victory at Loftus Road by Barnsley since January the 21st, 1960. They go this afternoon after just 7 minutes. The scorer from a defence-fitting pass by Ben Williams. Barnsley went close.
Well, that
after that
for the wins of hell.
Anderson,
Where do you think the wins are?
QPR
The wins of what?
improved, but
we forgot to mention that.
shot on target until the final 8 minutes when both Eddie against Hugo forced sprawling save from goalkeeper Jeff Walker. But Barnsley move off the bottom. It finished QPR nil. Barnsley
That was there too?
And what happened at the Medeski Stadium today? Top Sports Mike Vogel.
It finished Reading 1, Stoke City 1. They left it late, but Stoke head home in their 2 team coaches in what could be a very important point. Despite a bright start, though, the visitors were behind early on. Lucas João is attacking on his first start since New Year's Day. This was very short-lived, João limping off late in the first half. Both sides hit the woodwork after the break. John Swift curling a free kick onto the bar for Reading. Harry Campbell banging one onto the post at the other end. But Nick Powell was on hand to head Stoke level deep into injury time, although they still remain perilously close to the relegation zone. At the match that it finished, Reading 1, Stoke City 1.
Used to have one of all back in
Give
the
you
day.
the results so far in the Premier League live on TalkSport earlier. It finished Watford 1, Leicester 1. Ben Chilwell for Leicester late on the cracker. Craig Dawson's was just as good to equalise. Finished 1 apiece there. Here at the Amex, Arsenal took the lead through Nicola Pepe. Lewis Dunk's scrappy equaliser and Neil Maupay for the quality at the end. It finished Brighton 2. Arsenal on back-to-back defeats for the Gunners. West Ham Wolves come over at 5:30. Bournemouth Palace at 7:45. Let's tell you what's happened in the Sky Bet Championship today. Then Fulham 0, Brentford 2, Borough 0, Swansea 3, Millwall 2, Derby 3, Blackburn 3, Bristol City 1, Huddersfield 0, Wigan 2, Hull City 0, Charlton 1, Luton 1, Preston 1, QPR 0, Barnsley 1, Reading 1, Stoke 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and West Brom 0, Birmingham 0. Just a point for West Brom, but they have gone top on goal difference from Leeds, who play tomorrow. That'll be live on TalkSport 2 at midday. Fulham are in third on 64. Brentford have caught up with them on 63. Then it's Forest on 61. Preston on 57 in the final playoff place. And Blackburn Rovers and Swansea a point behind Preston. Down at the bottom, Luton is still bottom on 36. Barnsley on 37. Hull on 41 now in the bottom 3. Middlesbrough on 41 and only out of it on goal difference. Huddersfield, Charlton on 42, Stoke on 43, and Wigan Athletic just can't stop picking up results at the moment. They are on 44 points. Let's get back to this game here at the Amex. Harry Groves and Ian Dancer are still with us. Let's talk about Arsenal and what, I mean, it's not a crisis, back-to-back defeats. There's no shame in losing at Man City. Maybe the manner of defeat should be questioned. But here today, to be leading and to lose, Harry Groves, that's going to start the questions asked.
Yeah, to be leading and to keep hold of that lead, you need leaders. But I don't think there's enough leaders in the Arsenal side. And just for the equalising goal, in the first half, Dan and myself in commentary said about there was always 2v1 situations from Brighton corners. Tobias was out there on his own, and that happened exactly what happened for the equalising goal, where he caught 2v1 and probably must get
oops,
to the
there you
byline
are.
and get the ball across.
Darkness
That's where
Kratos.
you've got that leader getting 2v2 out there, someone screaming, whoever's in the near post, get yourself out and make it 2v2. Make yourself difficult to bypass, which
Give
they
into
didn't
the
do.
darkness.
You have to say that the winning goal was absolute top quality. Sometimes you can just sort of have to take your hats off because that was a top quality goal involving Conley and Maupay.
Must that be a bit of treacle and Martinez should come out quicker or what?
Well, to be fair,
Forget why we are here.
Arsenal had gone and blocked shots before that, but that was just very clever play. The initial over from Maupay was very, very clever. So sometimes other teams are allowed to have that little bit of quality.
And let's not forget McAllister gets to the pace of the game so early. He's only been on like 30 seconds to play that initial ball in for Conley to turn the ball around the corner. You're right, Maupay does the over, but the presence of mind that Maupay got as soon as he's done the step to turn and go, because he knows that Conley will send it back his way if he's got half a chance. It was so well worked.
So now for us to pick out man of the match with the Nissan commercial vehicles. Man of the match on Talk Sport with Nissan commercial vehicles.
to deliver.
Interesting one this, because I thought Brighton played as a team really. Were there any standout individuals for either of you?
I thought Zuma was quite impressive in the middle of the midfield. His coverage good, he covers ground, he gets little foot in. Lewis Duck, I thought, and went at the back, to be fair, were fairly solid. But then, it's a no-brainer really, because when you're in trouble, at the bottom of the division and you need a goal scorer to come up with big goals, you'll want to done that in a moment. If Brighton had to stay up in the last 8 games, he's going to score 5-6 goals, and he got one already. I thought it was impressive in his season scrap, to be fair. Hold up play good. You good at the first half and it was getting going a bit heavy on that first minute. I think the replay, it was quite innocuous. It was like a little shoulder charge. But I want someone to have that niceness and that aggression. And his hard work has paid off. I know what Dad thinks, but I think it's a no-brainer for anyone on title.
He Zuma ran him close because he ran. I mean, he was tigerish in midfield and didn't stop working for Brighton. But Mopay, I saw another video at Brentford before he came in. You did too, Adrian. He's a clever player. He's got that, nasty streak in him that sometimes can wind opposition teams. That certainly won't band Leno up, but some of the stage moves. He shots and stretch it off the field. And we'll have to find out how serious that is for Arsenal, incidentally. Martinez may have a problem in the side as their goalkeeper. But yeah, I'm with Terry on this. Mopay gets the award for me.
Very quick final point. Mesut Ozil sat right in front of me. A little warm-up, came back. He didn't even get on the pitch and didn't make it a 1-1 and make a triple shot. Truly they needed that bit of creativity to get a winner.
Right. And he scored because during the week at Man City, he wasn't good enough to get in the first 20. Now, Arteta's telling him he's not in the top two of number 10 positions because Tobias played in the first half, then Willis came on and played where it's perfect for Mesut Ozil in a game that gets stretched to come and play in that little hole, and he's sort of sat on the bench. But Dad's made the point, he wasn't exactly chopping at the bit with it half time to get himself off.
The warm-up was late. The funny thing is, Arteta prior to lockdown seemed to be believing in Ozil more. So something's happened in these 3 months that seems to have completely changed their relationship.
Well, he was probably unused some of the match. The man of the match was Neil Mopay. That was our man of the match in today's game who we felt delivered the best performance. All thanks to the Nissan commercial here. From Bill to deliver.
Man of the match on Talk Sports. The Nissan commercial built to deliver.
And it puts a lovely-looking 5-point gap between Brighton and the bottom 3. They'll be pleased with that. 2-1 to Brighton finished here. 1-1 between Watford and Leicester earlier. Live on TalkSport. 2 more to come. West Ham Wolves going to take you there very shortly for a 5:30 start. Bournemouth Palace is at 7:45 again live on TalkSport. Game day back with 4 bangers on TalkSport. Tomorrow at midday live commentary on TalkSport 2 of the Championship leaders Leeds away the playoff chasing Cardiff. Later this evening here on TalkSport, that live commentary of Bournemouth against Palace. But next up, it's West Ham Wolves. Freddie Carruthers will be in charge of that.
Game day live on TalkSport with an Now TV Sky Sports Pass. The wait is over. Watch West Ham vs Wolves today for just $9.99. Search Now TV. 18 plus. Stream our internet to apply.
Sorry, oh, ding.
Always got acres of space. With rapid charging in under an hour and room for 4.2 cubic meters of cargo, add the Nissan ENV 200 to your team for only $299 a month on business contract hire. Nissan commercial vehicle. Built to deliver. Visit your local Nissan Business Center today. Business users are participating deals. Excludes 20% VAT. Nissan Finance advance rental £1,794. 36 months, 18 plus. No ownership. Ends 30th of June 2020. T&C supplies. See Nissan.co.uk.
More small packages.
Get the level treat like a G. Holy dog. I get mine every day, every free chicken wings to the crib. I'm sitting burger. Ain't a no sauce. Hook the head and pickle me. One time on the can of rain. Pull those in there. Thank you, my man. J-U and the unforgettable feeling every sports fan lives for. That feeling is back. The thrill of the last-minute goal. The rush when the side takes the lead.
Winners of day and night.
Is back.
Ragnarok begins on Windows 7,
£20 free bet when you
right?
bet £20 on this weekend Premier League on the Bet10 Sportsbook.
Like them well enough to cover a massive wall in his
Match is 19th to the 22nd of June. Minimum odds 1 to 2. Free bet valid for 48 hours. Warning of bet settlement. Excludes cash out bets. T&C supply 18 plus. Be gamble aware for all. We got it at Spellco. Real deals are back at Selco Builders Warehouse. In June, we've got some market prices and special 450mm utility flats for just £2.49 each ex-flat. Now that's a real deal. Find even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. Online at selco.com.
Where the trade blows.
Well, it's the last day of the season. Brighton are fighting to stay up for another year in the top flight of English football. So they get a free kick on the edge of the box with just 20 seconds left. Someone is taking a deflection off a passing seagull and completely wrong foot in the keeper. Trying to go 1-0 up and are staying in the Prem. However, the season story unfolds. Don't miss the final chapter. Get it all covered in the Sun. Pick up a paper or visit thesun.co.uk.
Finding your perfect new home can be tough. So if you keep missing out, time to search out. There are thousands of new properties to buy or rent every month at onthemarket.com. 24 hours or more before they're on Rightmove or Zillow. See them first. Set up a property alert today. If you're in the market, search onthemarket.com. See onthemarket.com/new and exclusive. Agents specify exclusivity.
We're pleased to be reopening twice new lanes and delivery. We're helping keep you and our team's growth is our priority, so we have to keep the people working. And to make social distancing easier, we've installed screens in kitchens and service areas. Before reopening, all our restaurants will be cleaned, and we'll be cleaning equipment and surfaces even more often. For now, we're open for reduced hours and serving a reduced menu. And to keep everyone moving quickly and safely, please use contactless payments. With smaller teams, service will take longer than usual, so thank you for your patience. If your local McDonald's is open, visit mcdonalds.co.uk. With delivery at participating restaurants only. Game day exclusive on Talk Sport. With midday commercial deals. To deliver game
Thanks to Gordon. Good reason.
A very good evening, great to have you with us. I'm Becca Roberts. It's half-time on game day, back-to-back games and back-to-back Premier League commentaries here on Talk Sport. And what a day it's been so far. Cracking goals, stoppage time drama at both Vicarage Road and the MX Stadium. There's 2 down, 2 to go. And the London Stadium takes centre stage next as West Ham take on Wolves in a crucial game for both sides for 2 very different reasons.
I believe that people want to show what they have done so far, so I'm hoping very much that we perform well and definitely have done this time. Of course, we know it's going to be easy because everyone wants to stay in the league, everyone has his own target. We are ready. And the thing is how ready we are. As long as we can use our
now he gets into the box. It's a brilliant combination between
Champions League is the most important competition in Europe.
The same good run together with 10 games or so. It will be a very special season for make it find themselves in the top 4.
Well, let's see how they line up then. A very good evening to tonight's match commentator, Clive Chilsley.
Hello today. Well, West Ham returned from lockdown with injury problems. No Bonner, no Allaire, Snodgrass, Masuaku and Zabaleta all out too. So Declan Rice plays at centre-back. Jeremy Ngakia plays at right-back, even though he looks set to leave the club. Lucas Fabianski will be in goal, back 4. Jeremy Ngakia is at Diop, Declan Rice and Aaron Cresswell. Then it looks like a midfield 4 of Jared Bowen, Mark Noble, Thomas Suchek and Pablo Fornal.
And from the warm-up, it appears that Felipe Anderson will partner Mikel Antonio up front. The West Ham United substitutes, or 9 of them: Darren Randolph, Ryan Fredericks, Fabian Balbuena, young Ben Johnson, Jack Wilshere, Manuel Lanzini, Andriy Yarmolenko, Zande Silva, and Albion Ayeti. Wolves are at full strength. Johnny has shaken off an injury during the break. There is no place in their starting 11 for Adama Traore. Nuno decided to go with his 3-5-2 formation, so Leander Donker plays in a stiffened midfield. The goal room is Patricio, the back three is Willie Colley, Connor Cody, and Robin Faye. In midfield, Matt Doherty and Johnny Otto are the wing-backs. And then João Moutinho, Leander Donker, and Ruben Neves in midfield, with Raul Jimenez and Diogo Jota up front. The substitutes are John Roddy, Oscar Brewer, Matt Tillman, Morgan Gibbs-White, Bruno Jordao, Ruben Vinagre, Daniel Podence, Pedro Neto, and who is the last forward in the whole of the Premier League that you want to be facing when you're tired, coming on for the last half hour? Adama Traore is on the bench.
Always a big threat. Thank you, Clive. We'll talk to the man 2 metres from you, West Ham legend Alvin Martin, shortly. But first, let's get the latest from the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport Premier League coverage.
Today on TalkSport with the Betfair Exchange, a different way to bet where you can set your own odds, sports trade or even make a bet. Betfair, more ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Good evening, Barry Orr. How are you?
I'm very well, Faye. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Looking forward to this one. A lot riding on it for both teams. What are the match odds?
Yeah, very much so. West Ham United have lost their last 3 Premier League games against Wolves, and no surprise, Wolves are favourite at 2.04 now. Just a little over even money, Faye, on the Betfair Exchange. West Ham currently 4.2. That's 16-5. The draw currently trading at 3.6, which is 13-5 in the first goal scorer market. Wolves, Diego Jota. He's 3 goals in his last 3 Premier League appearances. He's currently 7.2. That's 6-1 to net first. In the match odds on both teams to score, I know you've an interesting charity bet there. You've gone for a draw on both teams to score in that market. That's currently a flat 5, which is a 4-1 chance. So we've had £100 on that for you. If that comes up, you get £500 for the charity. And I'm pleased to say that your predecessor, as a previous show, won £100 when they laid Arsenal on the Betfair Exchange. So fingers crossed, your charity bet can come up as well tonight, Bet.
Fingers crossed. Well done, Adrian Durham, for that. Of course, all the winnings going to the Bobby Moore fundraising funds for life-saving bowel cancer research. Thank you, Barry Orr. That's all thanks to the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Game day on TalkSport with the Betfair Exchange, a different way to bet where you can set your own odds, sports trade or even make a bet. Betfair, more ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Right, time now for Just Eat's Game Day Takeaway, a snack-sized preview of West Ham versus Wolves.
Game Day Takeaway on TalkSport, delivered by Just Eat. Call yourself a stunning takeaway delivered straight to your door. Order on the app today.
Somebody say Just Eat. Right, let's hear from Wolves midfielder Ruben Neves, who's been in conversation with TalkSport's James Shavundra. With Wolves' position in the table, Neves says it's hard not to think about qualifying for the Champions League.
We think about the Champions League. Every player in the world think about the Champions League. Think to play in Champions League is the most important competition in Europe. So it's a thing that every player can think. But like I said to you, to arrive there, we can't think about it. Just go game by game in the Premier League, and then we see what you can achieve.
And do you think having that Portuguese core
No, it's not.
to their Wolves side, does that help the transition when you consider just how successful you were personally in your first season in the Championship? Did that help a huge amount, knowing the language, but also having people you knew from your time in Portugal and players that you could speak your native language with as well?
Of course it helps. It helps when it comes to another country and we have players from our country. Because even players that were here before me, so they knew the club, they knew the city, they helped us a lot. When I arrived, Ivan Caballero, Alex Costa, they were here before me. So it's really important. But I think mainly for our families because we are at home a lot of time as people from our country. And it's really good. Feels like we are at home because to be honest with you, here in the dressing room, we don't remember, almost don't remember, and we are a lot of confused because we have a great squad. Unfortunately, I had great friends that helped me, so like I said to you, it was really important to have Portuguese players here, but mainly, for me, mainly, well, families that are outside the training run.
That was Jumpy's Game Day Takeaway. Order on the app today.
Game Day Takeaway on top. Delivered by Chucky. Order on the app today.
The teams are on their way out at the London Stadium. Let's have a quick chat with West Ham legend Alvin Martin, who's alongside our match commentator Clive Stillsley. Alvin, interesting comments there from Ruben Neves. Said they're taking it game by game and they'll see what they can achieve. But is the top four achievable for Wolves, do you think?
Well, it's a big ask, but look, it's even talking about it tells you how good a job the manager is doing for Wolves. It's incredible, really. I'm a little surprised, well, that he hasn't already secured that contract. Even about the job he's done, what he's still. You would have thought that they would be anyone else coming in and looking at taking that sort of like, a club that
Tartarus Rage.
every year. So a surprise to me there, but look, this is a really difficult game for West Ham. You look at the result that just happened, and this is a Wolves side that plays the same away as it does at home. Whether there's fans in or not, they come to attack you away from home. So a really dangerous game for West Ham.
Yeah, dangerous game for West Ham for sure, especially as you're saying, with those results from earlier on, Brighton picking up points, so it's put more pressure on them.
Absolutely, look, it's going to be to and fro, I would have thought, all the way through. But look, this is about now getting your head down, playing the last 5 games as if your life depended on it. And, I think the positives have always got to be looked at. I think every manager that I've heard coming back in to the years of restart, they've tried to be as positive as possible. So I think you have to be. If you were the leader, you have to be positive and not look at any negatives. Otherwise, that gets through to your players.
West Ham still using the bubble machine, I can see out there. Obviously waiting for Wolves, the players coming out separately, obviously.
Shouldn't that be a thingy now? All about how travel out, don't you know?
Obviously, I'm forever blowing bubbles, you can hear it in the background as well. But what's it like there, Alvin?
It's quiet. Sometimes when I think we're all commentating, if you are good, you've got to be a little critical of the players. It's not so much here at the London Stadium, but certainly at grounds around the country. The players are going to be able to hear what's being said in the commentary position, so you have to be careful what you're being accused. Look, I think this isn't about the atmosphere. I think this is about what's at stake. And a lot's being made of the atmosphere. And the atmosphere in the Premier League is what the game's all about. I've got no argument about that. But bear in mind what is at stake. And we've just said how important this game is to West Ham, how important it is to Wolves. The players all know that. So while I'm sure they'd rather be playing in front of a crowd that can inspire them, there's also a lot at stake. And you have to make sure that you don't leave anything in the dressing room. It's all going to come out here onto the pitch.
Yeah, and coming out onto the pitch at the moment are Wolves and Nuno Espirito Santo as well. And after a day of late drama here on TalkSport, what lies in store at the London Stadium this evening? It's West Ham against Wolves on game day. Let's go to our match commentators, Alvin Martin and Clive Stillsley.
Great start for West Ham United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves were the last English club to play before lockdown 100 days ago. A Europa League tie behind closed doors in Athens on March the 12th. West Ham United have had 5 more recovery days since their last game. I don't think that's going to make a great deal of difference in these circumstances. Some Premier League stadia will feel emptier than others. This huge bowl of an arena that was built for Usain Bolt and for Mo Farah to fill 8 years ago is particularly eerie and echoing. Just need some tumbleweeds to blow across the pitch now. We've got Mary Celeste football. Normally a crowd of 60,000. The new normality. 60 or so media men and women scattered across the seats in an empty house. Television crews, support staff, and 22 superstars out in the middle. Mark Noble and Connor Cody just seeing through the pre-match formalities before the players take their now familiar positions around the centre circle. Ready to restart at the London Stadium, but not before a moment to reflect. Remember those lost to this awful pandemic.
Ready.
I think I'm gonna like it though.
Having learned that travel room to Jotunheim, we can now head back to the gateway on top of the peak. Put that magic chisel to good use.
Nobody's gonna know this. No. Hey, bro. I found something interesting.
Did you now? Well, color me interested. See, you boys ran afoul of some travelers. And them travelers ran afoul of you.
What do they want?
Don't know. Boy, you ask a lot of questions. Let's get to it.
COVID-19 has changed.
Alright, upgrade the blades, there we go. Up to number 33.
We need to combat
There we go.
racism in our game, our world. The Wolves players are engaged in an illegal huddle, I have to say, plenty of tactile contact as they gather
We
before
lost.
kickoff.
Oh yeah, Travis Armstrong, thank you very much.
With a gesture that has become
No,
very
not down.
powerful in the last 3
Travis
days.
Armstrong, no, nowhere near it.
To a man, every player, staff, officials take the knee.
All about the
Unanimous
travellings.
support for a new wave of anti-racist feelings and actions.
Alright.
How many black players are taking part in this evening's game? I can give you the answer to that. It doesn't matter. Nobody's counting. It's not an issue.
Level 4,
on the
all
field.
about the traveller.
Black managers, black board members, black match officials is another matter altogether. But where there's a will, surely away.
Ding.
Wolverhampton Wanderers in old gold shirts, black shorts and black socks playing
No,
from
can't upgrade
right
yet.
to left
Got to
and
kill some more
we look in.
travellers.
We
Alright.
have the
Zero there.
enhanced crowd atmosphere to make you feel like you're here on
Upgrade,
Talk
no,
Sport
no.
this evening.
No, yeah,
Out of that, both on the app and indeed on the website. The Wolves are coming forward immediately with Rupert Never just run off the ball by a gap here on the edge of the West Ham United penalty area.
that's it.
Alvin Martin alongside me. The crowd attendance is very low, but the stakes could hardly be higher for both teams.
I've just seen a wonderful goal there. It's something I'm sure we're not going to see the last of today. Caracoli gets the ball, Miller just over inside his own half and pinned it to that right wing, and they nearly got through. It's something that they do so well. A lot of respect to Caracoli, one of our leaders, and quality. I can't believe he hasn't got the England cap yet.
There's a goal ball for Wolves, just inside the West Ham half of the field, held up by Sochek, but Coutinho clips a pass towards Johnny Otto, who went into the break with an ankle injury, but has shaken that off and has recovered his place
Oh,
on the
that in there,
next of
can't
the
remember.
Wolverhampton Wanderers midfield. West Ham United in mainly clarets with a blue trim, the top and the front of their shirts. Defending the goal way to our left, and they have been defending throughout these
Another
first couple of minutes.
cool down, another
Gets the
cool
ball
down
back from
different.
Coutinho, squeeezes it into
It's just a frost
just inside the
attack,
penalty
not
area,
really,
even though they
yeah.
get past Diop, and the ball is
Not
played
really.
by the West Ham United number 1, Lucas Fabianski.
Yeah.
It's the 13th game of the second coming of David Moyes at West Ham.
Yeah,
No
put that
real
one in there.
momentum yet, just 2 wins. The first game and then the last home game. They played well. They defeated both Liverpool and Arsenal just before the break, but they don't want to go down with a half-back story to tell. Felipe Anderson's back in their starting lineup and on the ball. Halfway line Clayton, Jack here on the right touchline. Noble squared to Declan Rice, playing alongside Issa Diop at the heart of a back four. And although Rice has a lot of experience in the earlier part of his career as a centre-back, he was almost exclusively in a back three. Now Antonio trying to get in behind Walls, but Rupert is quick off his line and gathers the ball. And Walls has possession. 3 minutes play, the third of our 4 live commentaries on game day on Talk Sport. West Ham United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.
Keeping Patricio there, he has to do a lovely way to ball in behind, and that's something that West Ham will be looking at trying to implement throughout this game. They do play high, Wolves, and the pace of Antonio will be a constant threat.
West Ham United without O'Connor, without Allaire through injury, and 1 or 2 other players who I think would have figured on the bench today. Jota hooked out to the right-hand side where Doherty doesn't need any invitation to get forward. He finds Neves, but Anderson is quickly upon him. Moutinho recovers the ball for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are forced back to the halfway line as Anderson tries to press. Saïs is in possession, goes back to Cody again. Thought about sweeping another of those diagonals out to the flank. Instead goes short to Willy Foley, 15 metres inside his own half. Comes back to Cody again, his 47th start of the season. No Premier League club has played more football than Wolverhampton Wanderers in this truncated campaign. Lovely ball this time from Neves out to Doherty, gets the ball back from Dendoncker. Doherty now 20 metres outside the West Ham penalty area, comes back to Willy Foley again. Under no pressure, he can lock up in the evening sunshine and try to feed it through to Dendoncker, but the pass is too straight and over here to the West Ham up goal kick.
It wouldn't surprise me if Wolves dominated their share of possession this evening, Clive, and it's not all about that, it's about what you do with the possession, but they're a really good football team, and I think if you chase them, then you could actually play into their hands. So I think West Ham will be more than content to let them have it in the deeper areas. But what they do need to do, and the last game that they played here, they played particularly well when was the Southampton game. They were second best in terms of percentage of possession, but they ended up winning that game. It's when you do get the ball, make sure you move it really quickly and get into the areas that can hit the opposition. And I think if they could say one game they've been happy with, getting close to where he wants the team to play, would have been in that Southampton game. So that's the challenge for them today.
West Ham are on the attack. Cody clears his lines. Noble trying to keep the attack alive. Cody beats Antonio to it on the edge of the Wolves penalty area, and it's cleared by Saïs. Nice little link up between Jimenez and Jota. Jimenez accelerates, but Rice with some good cover plays it calmly into the path of Fornals midway inside his own half, and then Diop can bring the ball forward for West Ham. It's a selection at right back. Jeremy Ngakia, who didn't put himself in the team before the suspension, but there is a contract dispute with West Ham United. It looks likely that he will leave the club at the end of the month, but even though Ryan Fredericks is sick again and on the bench this evening, and Ngakia has rather surprisingly been chosen at right back. Moutinho is on the ball for West Ham United, midway inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers, midway inside the West Ham half. Here is Doherty, now just outside the penalty area, comes back to Moutinho again.
I can read these. It says
Johnny who has a crossing position. Instead he goes short to Jota, gives it back to Johnny. We play a clever ball inside Bowen.
We should go see some.
Jota to cross.
There was no fear.
Easy recovery by Jared Bowen, and he manages to prevent the cross at the expense of a corner kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Did exceptionally well there, Jared Bowen. I think he initially hesitated and then a little bit quick slow to getting onto the ball, but once he did make his mind up, he showed that he has got real pace to make up what half a yard over 10 there. He's certainly a player as well, but he's been spoken about a lot this week, and he is somebody that looks made for this stuff.
Over here.
Play. Game day on Talk Sport. West Ham United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Wolves have a corner kick on their left, which Jean Moutinho will take right footed. Swung into the edge of the 6-yard box. His bounced all the way through to Jimenez on the edge of the penalty area, but nobody's there to clear and tied it up stiffly by Anderson. But Fornals has lost the ball. Wolves are back on the ball just on the edge of the West Ham penalty area in the one and on the corner. And Moutinho's attempted cross is charged down by the sturdy figure.
He would understand and do the same, lad.
Good start to the game as if by Wolves that come here, that come with a game plan that they will keep the ball, they won't put it into the
Excited to finally see the land of the Giants.
good openings, but when they do lose it, they win it back exceptionally quick. And that's what West Ham have found hard to be able to get out on half at the moment. On the corner, which short this time, from the left-hand side, come back to Neves.
Don't go anywhere. Be with you in 2 seconds. Tell you what.
Down the field, one that hands
Did you put this wheel in your mouth?
Cody is there and he's got ball
Oh,
forward.
I'm not kidding. I'll throw it back.
Because of their workload in the Europa League, it may be that Wolverhampton wanted to benefit a little more than most of the benefited quite the right work, but they did win only 4 of the 15 games they played between Christmas and lockdown. Shot from the edge of the West Ham United penalty area. Good strong play from Diego Shotton, just behind the ball back to Raul Jimenez. The pass was slightly under hit. But West Ham United well done there on their right flank. The scoring score earliest of figures that it was a very determined run full of wiry strength. Oh, he comes all the way back to Cody.
Let's have a look at your gear.
He's on the halfway line. Wolves dominating possession in the opening stages. Little back here from Jimenez doesn't come off, and Declan Rice is on the ball for West Ham United. Rice again, the half of his own half of the field, goes out to the left-hand side. Aaron Creswell is the left back today. He offers alongside Rice, who receives the ball from Declan Rice. Now he gets here on the halfway line, right-hand touchline, right under the nose of Nuno Espirito Santo is the only BAME manager in the Premier League, hails from the island of Sao Tome and Principe off the west coast of Africa. David Neves, reported a very bright young black coach, is part of David Moyes' We'll play into the edge of the penalty area where Antonio gets the ball with Cody Bounces through to the studio in the Wolverhampton Warriors. First of all, top game there. Very capable really competitive. Maybe not as quick as some, and Antonio will probably
Talk about iron up there.
try and get himself one-on-one in his top victory coming. What the he did then, he threw the match commentary here. We'll be using the artificial crowd section to try to enhance your experience and the local viewers have so far opted for them. If it isn't for you, then you can listen to commentary of the national stuff from the stadium on our website, talksport.com, or you can turn off the crowd effect if you download and use our app. I'm not a fan of crowd noise. I have to say, real football, real players, real points. It's not FIFA. I'm not sure why there's a need to pretend there are real fans here watching when you're all stuck at home listening. It is an eerie soundtrack to a game with so much riding on it. Shot with a cross to the far post, which Creswell deals with at the expense of another Wolverhampton Wanderers corner kick.
But he's certainly got the ball a lot. I think you've done with left-hand side Wolves, and they've got so many good little footballers that when they've got the ball at their feet, they will drive at you in there. They look at it's full of players like that. He's got round the back again, they've put into a deep area. Excellent defended by Creswell. Putting him all the way, I think it's even more, but he cleans up the danger. All we can hear here in the stadium is the players shouting. It's like someone's put the wrong music on in a restaurant. It's very, very strange. Which we see will take from the right-hand side towards. Doesn't quite fit with him. Jimenez comes out as far as Neves on the edge of the penalty area, but he's quickly crowded out. And he comes as far as Jota. Move is kept alive by Doherty. Jota sweeps it into the penalty area where Jimenez wins it in the air, but it bounces rather tamely down to Fabianski to collect. Still West Ham 0, Wolves 0. 12.5 minutes played here on TalkSport. Noble, long forward towards Antonio, who's managed to out-muscle Saïd and link with Bowen. Now Noble with support, going square to Souček. Noble wants ball, cuts out to the right-hand side, and then Gakia. 50
18 metres inside the wall. Half to go back to Noble on the halfway line, and he is back into West Ham territory. And the tall figure of Dion. Now Noble forward, and Cornell's better running behind. And the ball five back, and Cornell squeezed the shot over the crossbar. It was maybe a better opportunity than he realised. Wonderful run, very, very well found. But 10 metres out, he had a bit of a rush of blood out of it.
Well, it was a tight decision, but one thing is for sure, he had so much time there that he had to wait till he come down. But when he struck it, he was just right.
Not that one, Steve.
Disappointed with that. You know, I don't know if it would have been given offside, but certainly he wouldn't have known that. He's a better player than that. He's just as hard to believe.
Got into the team for the last 2 games before the break. He's only his 4th Premier League start. This David Moyes' return. Pablo Cornell. He's saying this week that he spent 2 months living alone here in London during lockdown. His girlfriend had gone back to Spain in March. So he was very relieved when in May clearance was given for training to review. What was spotting more call on the Wolverhampton on the left-hand side. It was Locke who was running with him, towering over him. It was a mismatch in terms of height and body weight, but Jota again showed an uncanny ability to hold up his man.
Finding the pocket between Injector and Diop, and he's very intelligent when he gets on the ball.
What about our played at the London Stadium? We're live on TalkSport. On the corner kick to Wolves. Coutinho going to the far post where Fabianski punches his much forward rather kindly for Anderson, who's able to make ground all the way up to the halfway line before being halted by Neves, who showed a bit more will then than his opponent, and Jota's back on it inside the West Ham penalty area, but floats across over Jimenez. It was a problem all of West Ham United's own making that.
Well, it's certainly been impressive, Wolves. The first 15 minutes, I'm sure Spinto Santo will be absolutely delighted with the way they've actually come in this game, because both managers, spend time with their teams. I think they've had won the most 2 games, but you don't really know where you are. But certainly, Wolves at this moment in time look for the first 50 minutes to shock the team.
West Ham United have throw it 15 metres from the corner flag on the left-hand side as a lovely blue sky with just 1 or 2 white fluffy clouds overhead. It's a very impressive setting for football.
That would explain the hefty magical knot on the outside.
The empty backdrop, the creepy atmosphere. Coming forward for West Ham over the halfway line. High to Wolves penalty area where it's easily fielded by Rui Patricio, and crosses through very deep and lacks the pace really to give it the opportunity to find Mikel Antonio, who's playing very much as part of a front two. He's been partnering Steve Allaire in the couple of games before lockdown. Felipe Anderson playing up the middle alongside Antonio. It is 4-4-2 from West Ham United. Owen on the right and Fornals on the left. They're both very attack-minded players, so a lot of work needed to be done by Noble and Stochek between them. Foul that time by Neves, as Bowen committed in there with a very bold run, and that's what we've seen from Jarrod Bowen in the glimpses we've had of him in West Ham colours, Arvin.
Looking at the attacking players in this team, Father, they've got lots of quality. Antonio big and strong. I certainly wouldn't want to play against him. Then you've got Anderson, Fornals and Bowen. And even behind them, Stochek is somebody who can really get himself into position where he can score. But you need decent possession of it. They're not getting enough possession to be able to get the best out of those players.
Noble's free kick was found Cresswell on the edge of the penalty area, led by Paulie. Reclaimed by Declan Rice, and a really good pass too. And here's Bowen with the chance to cross, floated to the far post, but it's just beyond the rangy Stochek, and curls out to play for a goal kick. Here on TalkSport, it's West Ham United 0, Wolves 0. You can watch West Ham versus Wolves live right now with the Now TV Sky Sports Day Pass for $9.99. now TV. Goal kick which Rui Patricio will take in his number 11 goalkeeping jersey, which he wears as out of respect really for the contribution of Carl Akemi in his 16 years with Wolverhampton Wanderers career. Sadly cut short by leukemia, but Carl is going strongly. If you haven't read his extraordinary autobiography, Why Not Me, then do pick it out. Carl Akemi of Wolverhampton Wanderers, remarkable advert for our national game. There are a few of those emerging in the circumstances of the last few months. 0-0 the scoreline at the London Stadium. Bowen on the ball for West Ham, back to Noble. To the halfway line and Isabella. Heading to Solskjaer. Now Noble again, this is time Wolverhampton Wanderers territory, looking for Bowen once more. He controlled an awkward ball very well, held off not one but two challenges, and every side blocked him. Johnny is not able to clear. Garcia trying to keep them over the line, but he's got away from size here. It's a clear, Garcia is not to deflect it. It's up to Solskjaer to hit. And he struck it remarkably well on it, but just deflected by Will's body, and the ruins knocked it to the empty stand, and West Ham United have a corner on the right. Yeah, sure they would want to run some more, and Garcia gets them forward here, he is in there, supporting Bowen. Bowen's got a lot of ability. He's not just that, he likes the ball, he wants to keep hold of the ball. In the end, they nearly got something out of it. He couldn't strike, wasn't it, for 3 seconds? It was rising all the time, but he really caught it well, and obviously it took a deflection with it. He was sitting at Brian George, the best player in the game for West Ham. Bowen collects a sanitised new ball from one of the little cones just behind the playing area before preparing to sweep in. Corner kick with his left foot from the right-hand side. Third start for the man who West Ham United paid 20.
I suppose we can't rule it out, but Odin's ways are simple. He says
Since his departure. Corner to the late, but now it arrives. It's come right underneath Rui Patricio's crossbar, and in fact, swept over the bar, and it's gone for a goal kick. I think that really our match referee is there. Anthony Taylor has seen it. He had indeed seen the defence inside the penalty area, and awarded Wolves a free kick.
Well, they're crowding around Patricio, the West Ham players, and mainly Antonio, and they're just trying to put a ball in it. It really is the difficult one for him to try and come for, because he's got not just the West Ham body to try and get through, he's also got his teammates there. If you can get a ball in that area, the keeper can't come. It's the real threat. It's off with it from Gareth Bale.
Top 40 home of Premier League football, West Ham nil, Wolves nil. The latest odds, you can go to the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where you can back West Ham to win at 4.7 at the moment, Wolves at 2.06, and the draw is 3.3. The Betfair Exchange, always to bet, always to win. You must be 18 or over, and do check out begambleaware.org. Advice for sport and managing and enjoying the best thing you make.
I suppose that's Odin's doing too.
Wolves will certainly have more of the ball, but West Ham United are quite well set up to play on the counter-attack with the pace and ability they have in their front line. Antonio's on the ball just outside Wolves' penalty area. They won't worry too much about the possession stats. And Garcia getting the ball back and feeding Solskjaer outside the centre circle, that's the left-hand side. Cresswell now forward to 4-0.
Well, not all of them.
Wolves half, Antonio is offside, and a free kick to Wolves. But in fact, it won't be a free kick because the referee's ball played back. Fornal, who headed into Antonio, was called a little late. And so the first defence is noted, and instead of a Wolves free kick, it's a West Ham free kick. Midway inside the Wolves half the field, slightly left of centre as West Ham look at it. It's not a shooting opportunity. Cresswell and Noble, right footer and left footer are standing over the ball. Towards the head of Solskjaer, and Cresswell face the goal. Antonio can't quite reach it.
Looks like he did more than that.
Looks like he did more than that. Do it. Well, pick up where you left off.
the opportunity for the first half, 60-second quarter break as well, then Martin, to assess what he's seen so far.
I think the fact that sports are coming in, made a very good start, right? I think what David Moyes has been trying to integrate into this squad is when somebody has a good spelling issue, right, they have, he was. It's not the be-all then, an end-all. As long as you don't concede during that spell, you can come again, and that's exactly what West Ham have done. They've been second best in terms of possession, but they haven't really look at their goals, and now you can see they've settled down, and they're starting to get Gareth Bowen off the ball, Antonio's starting to win the game a little bit more, Cornell's is getting on the ball, and that's about, managing the game, and I think that was something they didn't do that well prior to David coming. There's a couple of talk scored this evening, exclusive live commentary at Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace from 7:45.
I've been teaching you to survive.
Live commentary across the TalkSport network on game day. 12 more to come before this time next Saturday. Cardiff City versus Manchester United is exclusive to TalkSport 2 tomorrow. As things stand in the lower reaches of the Premier League, West Ham United are 3 goals outside the relegation.
There are consequences to killing a god.
3 superior to Bournemouth. Watford's points earlier today carried them to 28 points. Brighton also scored very late to beat Arsenal by 2 goals to 1 at the Amex, and they moved up to 32. So the bottom of 6 as it looks at the moment. Norwich 21, Aston Villa 26, then Bournemouth and West Ham 27, Watford 28, Brighton 32. So 2 more critical games to come this evening. This one here, and then live commentary on Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. Bournemouth in the bottom 6. As we restart the season with this mini-series of games, which have still got an awful lot to decide. Maybe not at the very top of the Premier League, certainly in terms of the Champions League places. More worryingly for West Ham United, the relegation place. Ball is in the possession of Rupert. They played out to Declan Rice. That's to the left-hand side, and Aaron Cresswell. Rice is back on the ball, midway inside his own half of the field. And his pass, Victor and Gakir is slightly overhit. It is a very empty atmosphere here when you watch the play in as many training games as are, but it's a familiar sound. But for the rest of us, it's like you just walked into the local sports centre for a five-a-side and you can hear the match that's on your court before you. So hurry up, guys, we've got this booked at 6 o'clock. No, definitely 6. No one else for reception. You've got to come off at 6. We're on.
Mulder cannot be far.
Still 0-0. Who's the action who's been a problem for Wolves so far. Instead, it's Johnny Otto.
Because that's what we do in Reynolds, right? Because he do the same to us.
Away from 2 West Ham defenders, but again, Bowen protecting his fullback well, gets the throw in and concedes the throw in by the corner flag. Throw into Wolverhampton Wanderers. Johnny will take. Looking for some movement on the edge of the penalty area. Coutinho jogging into the display to receive the ball, returns it to Johnny, and now Jimenez. Johnny again. It's all very tight down in the left-hand corner, and West Ham managed to put it back with no ball, and Anderson takes it forward to Antonio, who's got a bit of free space to run into, and that's what he loves to do. Hugging the right-hand touchline, stepping away from Saeed. Now he's got a crossing opportunity, headed away by Foley. And as far as Nova, on the first line pass to Creswell, as he pick across Saeed, left forward the corner, White, and Antonio will be defending by Agassi, Jota and Jimenez can set up a counter-attack for Wolves. They combine midway inside the West Ham half. Leads the section back by Declan Rice. Jota threatening to get Jimenez clear, and it is only a throw-in for Wolverhampton Wanderers, taking out to the full front on the right-hand side. Bill Ward for West Ham there. They've had a lot better possession. They've played in advanced areas, and they were attacking there with Antonio. But when the ball was turned over, all of a sudden Wolves team, he would have been one-on-one with the keeper, so, you know, a little dangerous sign there for David Moyes. Well, you want to go at the opposition. I'm sure David wants to see his team more attack-minded. Also, when you turn the ball over, you've got to be better. By my reckoning, it's over 2 years since Rice started the game as a centre-back. May 2018, David Moyes was the manager then. But just to reiterate, he played almost exclusively in a back three that season, Rice, before converting into the central midfield player that he's become for West Ham and England. Back at centre-back today. Bowen had to Anderson as West Ham come forward, but Johnny just showed a little more aggression than Anderson to win the ball. It has been smuggled out of play, and West Ham United are going to get a free kick because the challenge by Saïs on Socek was untidy. It's 2 paces in from the right-hand touchline, and probably 12 paces from the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side, but it's an excuse for West Ham to bring Rice and Diop forward from the back, and for Noble to feed Bowen. Laid it low into the penalty area, away by Johnny. Reclaimed by Anderson. Now Noble again on the touchline, stolen away from him by Moutinho. Shota trying to counter. Bowen makes a good challenge, and not a good challenge by Jarrod Bowen. The ball is put forward and claimed by Rui Patricio, the Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper. 24, still West Ham nil, Wolves nil. Alvin Martin. Felipe Anderson is, you know, a really talented player. I love him. When he's on form, he's brilliant. But I just wish he had a little bit more of what Jarrod Bowen's got as well. When he loses the ball, Jarrod Bowen, he's desperate to win it back. He's already praised him, 2 or 3 times, defending in his own penalty area. You know, a little bit more of that, because if there was a crowd here today, and there were West Ham, they want to see that as well. Anderson hasn't played very much for David Moyes since his return to the club. Shot inside the West Ham penalty area again, and forces a smart save, no more than that out of Fabianski. I think he was caught in 2 minds as to whether to cross to shoot, and in the end it was a cross shot, which didn't carry enough venom to worry Fabianski, who has the ball in his hands as the shadows of the Olympic roof start now to cover the field. Fabianski awaiting options in the edge of his penalty area, looking for something to call. You get to know who the noisy ones are, don't you? It's often said by the older generation that there are not enough talkers in the game today. Bossy boots, mouthy motivators. There were plenty in Alvin Martin's day. There's no excuse now for not hearing the manager's instructions. You can't do that one where you put your hand to your ear and say, sorry, I couldn't hear for the crowd. You've never done anything like that. I've been players, I'm sure, wouldn't do that quite. I remember a coach who had met me giving, I dropped the devil whenever he said anything. Not in these circumstances. 0-0 at the London Stadium. Moutinho has the ball. Squared in there, is out to the left-hand side inside, and now Jolly on the touchline, halted by Gakio as he tried to fill in and go past him, and he came last off the Spanish fullback. And West Ham United will have to throw a fascinating situation for Jeremy and Gakio. He was injured for much of the first half of the season. He's not 20 until September. Just 4 senior games for West Ham, but out of contract in 10 days' time. Already being linked with, well, you name it, Liverpool, Arsenal, a couple of German clubs, maybe his English getting busy. He's got until Tuesday to negotiate a new short-term extension with West Ham, otherwise this will be his last game for the club. Cody on the ball for Wolverhampton Wanderers, into the centre circle, plays a great tackle, Shota takes it first time, inside the penalty area, Diogo Shota. It's Raul Jimenez, and it's charged down by Gakio.
It's just got 6, snap.
But another great ball by Cole. He started off in his own half, each perfect ball. I've got to say, Jota's been outstanding in this first phase. This first half an hour, he's on the ball constantly. His touch has been perfect. Again, he's made half a chance. So I've got to say that West Ham have done really well to keep it 0-0. Some occasions here. And it's 23 minutes gone. It is 0-0. But on the Wolves corner, Moutinho from the left-hand side to the far post where it's headed away by Socek. line by Jimenez. He goes back to Dennis. He's inside the West Ham half. Hopefully back into the penalty area. It's going to come all the way though. Coutinho, and Jota goes for goal again. Well, he was out for much of January with an injury, Diego Jota, but he came back with a bang, scored a hat-trick against Espanyol, that 3 in his next 2 Premier League game, and some assists. Portuguese international who was with Nuno at Porto and is almost the unsung star of this very, very impressive Wolverhampton Wanderers unit, and that's what they are, a team, a unit. They have 2 formations, 3-4-3, 3-5-2. Interesting that Arbitrary has been let down at the starting 11 today in order to have the 3-5-2 option. But I'm sure we'll see Traore before this evening is out. We'll have a throw in 15 metres inside the road half. As I said before the game, Arvin, if there is one player in the entire Premier League you wouldn't want to face as a tight defender coming on fresh with half an hour play, it might just be Adama Traore.
Absolutely, and the fact that he's got the likes of Liverpool interested in him, if we believe what's in the papers, etc. But look, he's a fantastic player, and I'm sure Aaron Cresswell will be relieved not to see him on the start lineup, but know that it's more than an option for later on in the game. He's right about that they are completely far of that, the movement that they show for each other. Whenever anyone's got the ball, especially in the wide areas, there's always a fullback overlapping them, and it gives you something to think about. If you're facing them up as a defender, you haven't just got to worry about the man on the ball, you've also got to worry about somebody overlapping him. It's the 2 elements of the defender that make it much more difficult. And the early games have been quite tactical match. He's played almost to the manager's script for the most part, but this game has a real wild card in Mikel Antonio and another on the bench in Adama Traore, highly individual talent to tear up scripts and play it their way. Wolves coming forward again. Jimenez on the edge of the West Ham penalty area, shot charged down by Declan Rice. But you feel as if West Ham are hanging in a little bit when Wolves come forward. There's a smooth fluency about the visitors. West Ham doing just enough defensively to keep it. West Ham United nil, Wolverhampton Wanderers nil. On TalkSport with Nissan commercial vehicles built to deliver.
Wrong room.
And Gatti is just inside the Wolves half of the field. Finds Destiny Senior, feeds it forward. And now Mark Noble can get his head up. He's just squared it forward now. Chris Waller riding on the overlapping crosses. He's taking behind for a corner. And that was a very impressive West Ham United move. They're opening doors all over the place there.
They all started with Ngaki at the eye. He's showed a lovely little kind of flop there to make a bit of space, put the ball into Noble, and the football that followed that, he was really impressive. Again, Wolves, you got to say, defended it really well, because they were stretched for a moment there.
West Ham at this corner on the left-hand side. 9 minutes in the first half remaining. 13 goals in the Premier League since the restart. 11 in the second half, just 2 in the first half.
What does this say?
Level takes this one, swinging in towards Rui Patricio, gathers it well under pressure from Socek. And he's never await his moment to clear his right.
I think what I really think as well, Socek is somebody that's capable of scoring with his head, steady in the air, and you've got good position again around the miles there to be able to get his one from this field there with an aerial threat.
He's a leading goal scorer for Slavia Prague before his move. One move to West Ham in January. One move to the end of the new end of the old. Still nil there. White in possession inside the 10 circle. Last man for West Ham under pressure from Jimenez, so he goes back to Fabianski in goal. You are just scoring as West Ham come out of lockdown with 1 or 2 injury headaches. No O'Connor this evening, no Allaire this evening. Players like Snodgrass and Matsuaka, who might have figured, also injured. Zavaleta, another who's running out of contract and doesn't figure this evening. And Gatti coming forward, midway inside the Wolves half of the field. Wolves are at full strength. Anderson, back to Ngaki. He was on the touchline, trying to step away from Johnny, who did enough to confuse Ngaki, who in the end got the ball out of play himself. We've seen in the throw-in to Wolverhampton Wanderers, 25 metres from the corner flag on the left-hand side, one that Johnny Otto will take. Spanish international just waiting for movement ahead of him. Got back fighting off, and Stochek onto Bowen, who was being held there by Saeed. The referee saw nothing onto Ward, and Neves plays it square to Folly, and Doherty can come forward to Wolves on the right-hand side. Folly back to Cody, midway line, his own half of the field. Square to Saeed, drop down the touchline right, Neves has drawn wide, and now Robs at West Ham.
Brothers, be warned. The tunnels I'm seeing in the walls are breached. Signs of recent dragon activity.
We already killed him.
From Johnny, headed down.
Did you then?
West Ham again reacted well. Hit first time by Saeed. It was an awkward one. It was a very speculative one. It was all of 35 metres out. It bounced rather awkwardly in front of Fabianski, who eventually fielded it. Still 0-0. They've got 6 minutes of the first half remaining here. We've still got live commentary to come on the evening match between Bournemouth and Crystal Palace here on game day on TalkSport. Earlier we heard Watford and Leicester swap late goals at Vicarage Road, 1-1 that game, and then Brighton and Hove Albion came from behind to beat Arsenal 2-1 with a late winner from Neil Mopar. Right commentary on both of those games here on TalkSport. Now here with Clyde Tilsley and Alvin Martin inside the London Stadium for you, watching for you here on TalkSport, until you can come and fill this place with your colour and noise. Antonio down towards Emerson, a run for Jarrett Bowen, hooked away though by Saeed. Back around the away side of the Wolves half. Noble coming forward, trying to fit it into Bowen again. Cresswell has made a good run on the far side, and Jackie has slipped across the face of goal. It's a rather wild cross, and it beats everybody and bounces out on the far side for a throw. It is surprising Jackie is playing today in the circumstances, Arlen.
Well, I know that he's impressed certainly during the lockdown, and well returned with fitness, and I think he's seen as a fabulous potential guy. And he is somebody that can devote, he can defend, and he can also get forward. I've only seen the best of him. We've seen just a couple of little facets of him, maybe the good and the bad. I think sometimes he tries to force it. He needs a little bit more composure at times. But when you see what he did 5 minutes ago, where he just took his shoulder and he's played Mark Nolan, West Ham nearly got something out of that. So he's certainly somebody with a lot of potential. You can see why, if he didn't sign with West Ham, people would be interested in him.
West Ham are coming forward again outside the Wolves penalty area, but Anderson is unable to find telling pass. Second partner for West Ham, more than 5 years in their academy. Jeremy Ngaki, and now days left on his current contract, but they do have a very promising right back coming forward. Ben Johnson, 20 years of age, is on the bench today after 1 or 2 injury problems this season. So they maybe feel as if they are well served in that particular position. They're on the ball, but inside their own half. It's still 0-0 on TalkSport. Noble Square to Declan Rice, who certainly hasn't had an illicit haircut during the break, Declan. He's got a push suit of hair. I think 1 or 2 players have, I hate to point fingers, but I suspect there might have been a little bit of illicit coiffeuring going on behind the scenes. Certainly Roy Keane didn't let us down last night, did he, with his haircut, but I'm sure they look a little tailored and manicured to really believe their partners are all expert hairdressers. That's just a suspicion.
Certainly a few bouffants about. I think my son's among them as well.
West Ham on the ball, the penalty works, short free kick, Noble to Cresswell. High hanging cross towards the head of Stochek has won it. Sent away by Dindonka though. I mean, as far as Fornals, Noble almost caught in possession there. Neves nearly got to him. It is the West Ham throw in just inside the Wolves half of the field. Ruben Neves, who like Adama Traore has been linked with Liverpool in the last few days, got out quickly there. Antonio's on the ball now.
Trying to exchange passes with Fornals. Cleared downfield, the other gathers, and West Ham can come again with Noble out to the right-hand side and Gassian midway inside the half. That's a telling cross into the box and volleyed it very, very well just to help it on its way. And as far as Aaron Creswell into the near post. Cleared again under pressure by Willie Foley. Lovely ball forward by Moutinho, and Wolverhampton Wanderers can counter with Diego Jota held up by Noble but not dispossessed. Jota is still coming forward for Wolves. Just lost his way a little bit, looking for support comes from Matt Doherty. Now Neves, but West Ham regroups. Moutinho in the heart of the West Ham half of the field. Out to the left-hand side. Johnny with a chance to pick a cross. Right-footed left back, checks inside. Finds Neves, now Bolly comes forward, 15 metres outside the penalty area, but Rice is there again. Did himself well at centre-back today. West Ham can counter. Right finish to the half. Antonio striding to the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Comes inside but runs into Bolly, who wins it back, and now Wolves look to go forward again. Pretty reckless conclusion to what's been a pretty studied half so far. Moutinho, that's the left-hand side, 1 or 2. Players just breathing a little more heavily than they have done at any stage in the game thus far, as it becomes a little stretched as we kick towards the stoppage time at the end of the first half. Which of the two managers is going to be happiest with the circumstances as they stand, Alvin Martin?
Well, I think that Stanley is going to do something. Will be delighted with the way they performed it. I think he'll have felt that maybe they should have a goal to show for it, but I think David Moyes will be delighted that this is a really difficult opposition facing your first game at home, because they're made for counter-attack. And although they've had a lot of possession and they've asked a lot of questions, I think it's about as solid as I've seen West Ham this year.
The board has got up, and it is just a 1 added minute that we're going to see. At the end of this first half, Wolves will have a throw-in, which Johnny will take. And David Moyes will be taking it himself, because they're right next to each other. They're certainly not 2 metres apart, but West Ham have won it back. Antonio midway inside the Wolves half. Comes back to second right, striding forward and finding Creswell on the left-hand side. Anderson has drawn wide. One last opportunity for West Ham to show something from their first half endeavours. Noble back out wide. On the left-hand side, still 20 metres outside the penalty area, delayed to delay, calling about 5 lines. Charge down, right back the goal, all the way back to Fabianski. Keeps the ball moving, finds to get the Diop, striding up towards the halfway line, looking up for a high ball forward, and the ball made wrong beyond the Wolves line. Cody managed to improvise a clearance base, helped it on its way, and that's the last action of the first half. Wolverhampton Wanderers polished and together.
Time now.
I've seen a lot of the ball. But the more half has gone on, the more West Ham United have found some real threat on the counter-attack. There has not been a single chance, gaping chance, that you would look back on and feel that either side really should have scored. And as we give the artificial crowd 15 minutes to catch their breath and resort to the pipes music, I can tell you that here on TalkSport at half-time, it's West Ham United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.
Thank you, Clive. I'm Faker Roberts here at the TalkSport studios, and yeah, not the most entertaining first half day. With the earlier games are anything to go by, then we're in for a cracking second half, because there's been some late drama across the Premier League and of course across TalkSport here today. So let's get the latest from the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage.
Game day on TalkSport with the Betfair Exchange. A different way to bet whether you can take a run on, or trade or even lay a bet. Betfair. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, gambleware.org.
Barry Ward's still with us. What are the in-game odds, Barry?
Yeah, in play, half-time betting on the Betfair Exchange today. It's next 7-2, West Ham to 1, Claymore 3 points, that's 4.5. Wolves currently 2.44, that's 7-5. The draw, no surprise, has been back in from 5-2 into 13-8 now, which is 2.64. In correct score betting, if you think it's going to stay nil all, that's 3.95. It's just a little, nearly 3-1. If you think it could be 1-0 to the home team, that's 7.6, which is 13-2. Or 1-0 to the visitors to Wolves is currently 4.5 on the Betfair Exchange, that's 7-2.
So our charity bet is a draw and both teams to score, so we need some goals. How are we looking?
Yeah, it's not looking good for you so far anyway, Faye, unfortunately, but fingers crossed that you could one-all draw do you perfectly. All you need is a score draw in this game to win £500 for the probably more
Responsible and charity partners. Thank you, Barry Orr. That's all thanks to the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Game day on Talk Sport with the Betfair Exchange. A different way to bet where you can set your own odds, sports trade or even lay a bet. Betfair, more ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
You're listening to Game Day exclusive here on Talk Sport.
No, come on then, get up there.
At the London Stadium, and coming up soon we'll also have Bournemouth against Crystal Palace.
Game Day exclusive on Talk Sport with this commercial gift. Milk to deliver. Well, it's the last day of the season. Brighton are fighting to stay up for another year in the top flight of English football, and they get a free kick on the edge of the box with just 20 seconds left. Oh my word, taking a deflection off a passing seagull and completely wrong footed the keeper. Tries to go wide up and up, staying in the prem. However, this season's story unfolds. Don't miss that final chapter. Get it all covered in the Sun. Pick up a paper or visit thesun.co.uk.
We're pleased to be reopening drive-through lanes and delivery. But helping keep you and our team safe is our priority, so we have fewer people working. And to make social distancing easier, we've installed screens in kitchens and service areas. Before reopening, all our restaurants will be deep cleaned, and we'll be cleaning equipment and surfaces even more often. For now, we're open for reduced hours and serving a reduced menu. And to keep everyone moving quickly and safely, please use contactless payment. With smaller teams, service will take longer than usual, so thank you for your patience. To see if your local McDonald's is open, visit mcdonalds.co.uk. McDelivery at participating restaurants only. Winning the unforgettable feeling every sports fan lives for. That feeling is back. The thrill of the last-minute goal. The rush when your side takes the lead.
Yep, we're up and running as well, Isabel. Thank you. The first full weekend of Premier League Championship in 3 months has brought late goals that have shaped the results so far. West Ham are playing Wolves in the first of the evening game, as we've seen elsewhere. The players, officials and coaches held a room of silence to remember the victims of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's pretty half-time game. 0-0 in the second half live on Sky Sports. Excellent late goals at Watford. They drew 1-1 with Leicester. Leicester ahead thanks to that fantastic strike from England fullback Ben Chilwell in the 90th minute. Couldn't have hit it better, and thought he'd won the game. But 3 minutes into added time, overhead kick there from Craig Dawson, and it finished 1-1.
Well, finishes however the season we possibly can. So like I said, we won't be derailed by it. It was a point for us in the end. We felt we should have won. No! And now we go on to the next game and look to get 3 points.
Late drama as well at the Amex Stadium, with Brighton snatching victory in the 5th minute of stoppage time. Arsenal had been ahead thanks to Nicolas Pepe, but Lewis Dunk equalised before Neil Mopé's winner deep into injury time. Miserable restart for Arsenal, who also had goalkeeper Ben Leno going off injured before half-time.
You are not ready for this.
The championship also resumed today, and a disappointing restart for title contenders. Cardiff tomorrow, live on Sky. Late goals from side Ben Rama and this from Emiliano Marcondes saw Brentford win 2-0 at promotion rivals Fulham in the West London derby. Brentford going within a point of Fulham now in 3rd place. There were no real fans at Millwall, but supporters were able to have a cardboard cutout likeness at the Den. Maybe Millwall needed a bit more vocal support, because a hat-trick from teenager Louis Sibley saw them.
Don't you know when to give up? Stay away from my son!
precedent. So I finished the race in Wales, and then 2 days afterwards I was still feeling a little bit unwell.
Eating Cleave's aches and pains were diagnosed as pneumonia and sepsis. It was serious but treatable. Worse was to come.
I was called in by my GP and given this diagnosis of myeloma, which is something I've never heard of before. And certainly when I started to ask the salient questions of, can it be cured? What do we do about this? And he told me it was an incurable blood cancer. And then, given that prognosis of 7 years, everything changed.
Chemotherapy has helped Peter's symptoms, but to have more years with his family, he really needs a transplant.
Ideally, I need someone to donate me their stem cells, because that means that 7-year prognosis that was given 3 years ago, we can seriously look at extending that, whereas right now, I don't have stem cells that match that.
And when the bridge opens, the forward Ascot will come crashing down on you.
Right, so that's the picture here today. The 4th weekend of Black Lives Matter protest in London. I think the question is your house is going to go on during the summer, and critically, how is it going to be affected by the whole thing around coronavirus and social media?
No! Listen to me!
Let me out!
Let go of it now or I will kill him, you know I will.
Quite excited, and it also gives you a real sense of duty, because you know that you're potentially the person's only chance, or certainly one of their better chances of survival. Some people, it's a case of help cure them, and in other cases it's just extending their life for a long period of time. But you just feel like you have to do it then. You're someone's only chance, it feels like a moral obligation almost.
During the COVID-19 outbreak, donor registration has dropped 60%. There's an urgent need for more people to sign up.
Each and every one of us has that chance to go somewhere in the world. It just happens with my...
Boy?
I'm here.
Stay still. You will listen to me and not speak a word.
And that match can mean more precious moments like this.
You are too quick to temper. You are rash, insubordinate, and out of control. This will not stand.
Is coming up in just a moment. The Hajj pilgrimage faces cancellations for the first time in modern history because of the pandemic.
It's not too late.
Fever Tree starts with a simple idea. If 3
We are here because of